can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living, but we could run from Elysium and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever.
Good evening everyone and welcome to another tournament stream. Today I'm bringing you the Twister Professionals Day 3 for the EU server. This is not a created stream. If you want to have crates you have to watch through the portal and then you will have to watch Rip's stream. Rip though streams in German, so keep that in mind. You can, however, if you don't speak German, mute the stream and then just go on YouTube to watch another, but have the stream playing in the background so that you can still get stuff. Tonight I'm going to be showing you R2K versus Raid and R2K versus Win, so that's definitely going to be interesting to watch. And after today we will see who the pressure is on, who still has a chance for the top 4 and who has to worry a lot. So let me take away the preview so that you can actually see the current standings. Loka pretty safe with 4 points, EG and Raid also relatively safe with 3 points. And then we have Karna and FBI both with 2 points, R2K and Navin with 1 and Win with 0. So at this stage it will be very, well, pretty much near impossible for Win to still make the top 4. But we have Karna, FBI, R2K and Navin fighting for those other, for the last spot. Because unless EG and Raid and Loka lose everything tonight, they are fairly secure in their position. So like I said, we will be following R2K tonight, and for R2K we are going to different maps. We are starting on Normandy, then going to Desert Sands, Oasis Palms and Port Bay if we get a tiebreaker, and after that it's Middelburg, Black Goldville, Canal and Naval Frontier. So basically all we have to do now is wait for YouTube to catch up so that I can actually launch the stream on YouTube, and after that we can just enjoy it and focus on the gameplay. The room invite should be up in a few minutes, but I will have started the stream on YouTube before then. And basically that's it. We just have to wait a little bit now. But like I said, Loka pretty secure. Loka has been so strong this season, and that's actually surprised me. I've never seen them so strong. So it's actually a quite nice surprise to see a clan. It's one of the oldest clans in the game. I can know because I'm one of the ones that founded it, even though I'm no longer in it. And it's actually just lovely to see them do so well. I quite like that. So like I said, waiting for YouTube. Mainly the thing is that there's a 5-minute delay on the stream, and that has everything to do so that people can't see each other's lineup. You want to avoid that. And that also means that you have to manually start the stream, but that's only 5 minutes after you've actually started the stream. So it's quite annoying because you have to keep an eye on YouTube to make that work. So for now, I'm just being a little bit patient because in about 20 seconds I can activate the stream on YouTube. And then that part will be over and I can just focus on what I love doing, which is just the fact that just watching competitive gameplay and commentating on it, really. So I hope you guys have been enjoying this season so far. It's been definitely an interesting season. Like I said, Loka very strong, and clans that we had expected to be like secure in the top 4, not quite yet. So that I actually quite like that because it means that it's pretty open and that the whole competitive scene for the EU server is just so strong. And that just makes it so much more fun. Waiting for YouTube to catch up now. It should catch up soon. Here we go. and then I can just pause the stream on YouTube. There we go, we are live. Because I do want to keep an eye on the chat. I actually quite enjoy reading the chat and answering questions and all of that. But because of the delay, it can seem a bit silly at times, really, because simply put, there is every time that you ask something or say something, I will see it and I can respond then, but you will see my reaction like 5 minutes from then. So we have a room now, so let's go there. Like I said, Raid versus R2K, we are going to Normandy. Let me grab Normandy for you guys to give you a brief look of it. This is the map. You have 4 bases. Base A relatively close to the beach, B in the middle on a little hill thing, which makes it hard to cap from either side because you have to expose quite a bit of yourself to actually cap it. And base C and D relatively close to their respective spawns and easier to cap because they're more defendable. For me, I quite love this map because it's not a predictable map. You can't, because it's relatively new, you really can't predict where people will go. You can't generally do that anyway because it's a team game and as a team they can go everywhere they want. But just the whole fact that it's relatively big, you have the 4 bases rather than 3. You have lots of height differences everywhere. And like I said, it's just not predictable. And I like that. I like maps where you can't just say, yeah, they're likely to go that side because that's a strong side. Because you just don't know. So that is the map that we are starting on. I'll take away the preview so that it won't be on your screen, ruining your stream actually. And we see that both teams are completely there, if not already up yet. And now we just have to wait a little over 3 minutes before the match actually starts. Again, the pressure's on, but Raid is relatively safe. They have a lot less pressure with this than R2K does. But at the same time, they still basically want to have at least 4 points, because then you have won over half the matches that you get, and that makes you quite safe for the top 4, if not necessarily a certain position in it, but it's just likely that you will make it then. So with that in mind, 2.5 minutes they're about to go, and Raid has raided up in an IS-4, 3 E5s, an STB, a Batchet and a Foch. And they're going to go up against 4 215Bs, 2 objects from 40 and a T22 medium. So that is a lot of E5 with new speed boosters and everything. Still, I'm not quite sure if the E5 is as competitive as Raid makes it look now. Because the tank hasn't changed, it just has a consumable that makes it faster. And the E5 before was not quite strong enough to make it work. And it's a different story for me than with the 215B, because of the fact that the 215B has always been a very strong tank. It's been excellent in multiple situations, in multiple positions, and of course hash and everything. And with the speed boost that it got that extra edge, and not just the speed boost but also the other consumables. So it is worth noting that the 215B is pretty strong now, and I'm not so sure that the E5 is strong enough to make it work. I like the E5, I can't say I love it anymore because they removed the cupola, but I like the E5, it's still the tank that I have my most battles in. But for tournaments, I think it is a little bit risky. But I'm eager to see what Raid does with it, and if it will work out. We just have to basically wait for just over a minute more, and then we get to see what happens. And whether it's 215B or E5 that takes it home. This is a best of 7, so the team that reaches 4 victories first is the one that goes home with the points. And that means that it's a lot more fair than a best of 3. It is more equally, more equal ground, so to speak. Also because it's just less depending on luck. If you have a best of 3 and you have 1 bad game, then you have a lot tougher job, and here you can have 1 bad game and still make up for it. So in that way I quite like the best of 7 principle, even though I would much rather have 2 round robins in a best of 5 or something, and just to make that work, because 2 meetings you can also have bad days, and I feel that 1 round robin, even maybe especially because it's squeezed into as little time as it is right now, I don't feel that that is as fair. So here we go. In 5 seconds we get to see the first matchup. And let's see what they do on one of my more favorite maps. Everyone on RTK side is a pro, but there's a bear and a bull and a clover on the raid side. I quite like seeing some more unity in the badges, because I've noticed that so far pretty much everyone has just taken a random avatar. There's my T22, it's gonna go explodey in a moment, there you go. And let's go up, up and away and see what they do. We have Asax and Messi heading towards the middle more, towards B. Probably going to spot the people that are going at the back. And we see the rest of the raid focusing on the C side. Pretty much all of RTK is going to C. Most of them have been spotted. RTK going straight on over. We see lines of fire, first damage being done on both sides. And RTK holding in the middle. Raid having captured the base now. And Raid is a little bit, RTK is a little bit stuck in the middle now. And that can work against them very much, because now we see Wise taking some damage. Wise taking a lot of damage. The T22 is moving over. Adrenaline has been activated. We have R2K pushing. Raid being absolutely murdered. Zerd losing tons and tons of HP. And there goes Blaster. But it will be difficult because they have to keep this up and Zerd is almost gone. They will have to lead someone very, very fast. Stopey also almost gone. There goes Stopey. There goes Drizzle. There goes Player. And it is 5 versus 4, but HP wise it is negligible and Raid does still have the base. We have Sick, that is now gone. It is 5 versus 3. 3 pretty healthy tanks to be fair. Zerd of course almost gone. We have no party without me going over there instantly to try and help. But there goes Zerd. And now no party without me is also losing. We have Messi that is steadily being destroyed. There goes Asax. And even though Wise is not likely to survive this. Ooh, that is a missed ram. Even if he does not make it, he does kill off Wise. But he is now the last one, and there he goes. With a flying turret that he leaves on Wise. And that is the first match over in a very, very short time. It was a very aggressive game, very aggressive push by RTK. They seem to be stuck in the middle for a little bit. Look at that, just over 2 minutes long for the first match. Wow. HP wise, the damage is not that far apart. It was a relatively close one, but RTK singled out the lone tanks from Raid. And it worked. So the first game is for R2K. And they have, with 1 minute and a half left to go, have already readied up with their second batch of tanks. And this time we are taking 2 215Bs, 2 Object 140s, 2 Foshes and a 113. So that is a very different lineup. I'm wondering what they're going to do with this. It's definitely going to be fun to see. And they're going to go up against, let's have a look, an IS-4, an E3, an STB, a Batchat, potentially 2 E5s, and a Foch. Yes, 2 E5s. So they're keeping the E5s. But they're just loading a lot of other tanks now as well. Just under a minute left to go for the second match of this best of 7. And everything is depending on tonight. Both teams need points, even though Raid is relatively more secure in their points and their position than R2K is. But that just only makes it more fun for us to watch, doesn't it? And now we see that there's another E5. The E3 is gone and it's become an E5. Potentially because of the, well, not necessarily DPM, but the difference in reload. You can get more shots in. With an E3 it is much more important that you make every shot count. Because if you don't, then you have a challenge on your hands basically. And here we go into the second match of the evening. Let's see what they do. Those two forces can be so deadly together. Any force really, because of the autoloader gun. But it makes me wonder what they're gonna do with this, because this is much more generic lineup, much less a push lineup, I think. And here we go. Raid again pushing towards the middle. But now base C is going to be occupied by an E5 and an IS-4. We have R2K spread out more. Spotted by the Batchat. Both one force is spotted, the other one isn't. But they are capping together. Raid capping as well. The Batchat moving behind. And now Raid is sticking much closer together. First shot going into Zerd. We saw other shots happening, but no damage being done. And Drizzle, there you go. Oof. Sick, getting a sick shot into Weise. Weise losing lots of HP very quickly. And now we have a Batchat moving and we have Drizzle focusing on Weise as well. And they will have to be careful. Drizzle taking damage. The Force moving in. Big hits happening all around. Zerd again very low on HP. And the tanks need to be going for a push like this to work. And our Raid is ready for it now. They are catching them and they are waiting for them to... Oof, that is a massive hit to the back of player. Stopey is gone though. And now Raid is... They are holding very well. Gassio taking a massive hit. Weise almost gone. That is a massive hit into the enemy, but now he's on the reload. And now Messi is in trouble. Sorry, not Messi. Wunderkind is in trouble. Reloading as he is. But it is 5 versus 4. But HP, it is 4 versus 4. HP wise, Raid has a massive advantage. And that is mainly to do with a very, very healthy Force. The 113 has to be very careful though. Our base. Oof, there goes Weise. And he takes a massive hit into No Party Without Me. Messi taking the hit for Sick. Sick taking out Gassio. It is 2 versus 4. Raid was ready for the push this time. And they are making them pay. Because even if they got some more shots in, the 113 is not going to survive this. And No Party Without Me only has 1 shell for 4 tanks and that's not going to work. And the second match is for Raid. Again, a very, very quick game. The point with the game sounds is that I can put them higher, but you still wouldn't hear them. Because with the free camera, the further you are away from the tanks, the less game sounds you hear. So you can't actually hear them. That's mainly the issue. You barely hear them. So can't really do much about that. I'm sorry. So now it's 1-1. We are moving on to a new map. We are going to Desert Sands. Desert Sands looks like this. You have base A in the desert, base B and C in the city area. All bases have lines of fire in them. C is the most secluded one, but I feel that overall the positioning around base A is a lot nicer, especially in randoms. We've seen tons of action in the tournament battles here as well, so it will be interesting to see where they go when it's a clash like this. So I'll take away the map so that it's not on your screen, and we have RTK ready with an STB, a T22 medium, 2 IS-4s, 2 140s and a 121. We haven't seen a 121 yet, I think, so that's an interesting choice. And they're going to be up against a 215B, 2 Spaghettis, an STB, 2 E5s and another 215B. So that is a very interesting lineup, also mainly because of the reload bug that is in the Spaghetti. Because if you fire your first shot, you switch to HE and then quickly back to AP. Apparently, you get a much faster reload, but only if you carry a certain number of HE shells. So I wonder if they're going to be using that bug to gain advantage, really. And we see R2K changing some things. They have 16 seconds left to ready up, so I hope they do ready up in time. Mo, I mean you with that. And countdown clock has begun. Both teams are ready. We are ready for the third match. And here we go. As streamer, you always hope for the tiebreakers because that is what makes the games the most fun. But for the teams, it really isn't. Even though it can be exciting, I think people would much rather play like securely, as in, we got this. I kind of like the E5s being used so much. I still say that I'm not sure if it's actually a tournament tank, if it works like that. And we have R2K not focusing entirely on the desert, but Raid not either. We have the Spaghettis going downtown, staying on the train tracks. Playmaker has actually been spotted. That is a good spot. And base B is now being capped, and that is a very cheeky cap. If they get away with it, it could be a game changer. And Raid has pushed all into the desert. And we have R2K waiting all in their spawn. And we have the IS-4s now pushing into the desert. And that will make for an interesting potential pincer movement. But Raid is basically ready for it. We see, Spaghetti getting hit quite badly. Wunderkind almost gone instantly. And there he goes, first tank out of the equation. And player is still alive. There he goes. But we see R2K bleeding HP. Even though they're now arriving and shooting Raid in the back. The focus fire over Raid is pretty much incredible. The T-22 just vanished. We have Drizzle that is on fire and unable to fix, but Kasu is now also gone. And Raid has way too much tanks left for this to go wrong. And I can pretty much call that this match will be for Raid. Just look at this. Playmaker now gone. The one Mo almost vanished. He's not going to survive this either. And now it is 5 versus 2. Raid anticipating what R2K was going to do expertly. And the aggressive tactic that R2K was hoping would work does not go as intended. And now it's third, the last one alive. And there he goes. And again, game is over very quickly, just over 2 minutes. And it is for Raid. So that definitely starts making it challenging, because if this was R2K's tactic to play it more aggressively, because we've seen it 3 games in a row now, Raid is just ready for it. They're playing more carefully, and when they notice a weakness, and in this case that was to IS-4, pushing in through the middle, they just went straight on after the rest of the team as a team. And the focus fire was just great. Raid sticking with the same lineup. By the looks of it, yes they are. And R2K is changing some things. Waiting for Weiser to ready up, but we see R2K now with 3 215Bs, 2 Foshes, a T-22 medium and potentially a 140. He has 1 minute left to ready up, which is plenty of time. And there you go. For the second match on Desert Sand, the 4th match of this best of 7. And the pressure is coming, because eventually one team will get closer to those 4 victories, and the one that gets 4 victories first gets the point. And points are very vital at this stage, especially for R2K. They have to get the points if they want to have a chance for the top 4. 30 seconds left. And even though you can probably sound that I'm a little bit much tired, I am actually excited about this. These are the kind of matchups that I really enjoy. Because for me, there was a sort of set top 4 from the beginning. I was not completely, I was kind of wrong. But these are like the clans that have been around for so long, that have performed so well. R2K going to the Mobile Masters last year. Raid winning the Twister Cup last year. There is definitely history here in these players, in these teams. And even though the teams have changed, I mean, we see new names with the Raid team as well, and also a lot of new names with R2K, but they're sort of set trade names, these clans. So you all automatically assume that they will bring a level of gameplay And the fact that they made this top 8 goes to show that they do have that. We see Raid pretty much doing the same thing as before. RTK all going towards the desert. Wise having been spotted already. The STB of course having excellent spotting range. All of Raid in the desert now, all of RTK as well. Crossing over safely. No damage being done. The Spaghetti's waiting for the potential IS-4s to go into the middle. But they're not there. There's no IS-4 for one, but they're also not going into that position. And we have No Party Without Me and Wunderkind. Wunderkind now moving up. And Raid is this time just waiting. The FVs have been spotted. All of them. Which kind of gives away their plan. No one has kept a base. No one is anywhere. The Spaghetti's waiting at the back. Along with their STB. Drills are not talking about rotating mats into the city, across the city. Which is exactly what RTK is doing. So I'm not sure if they're going to count on that. And they want people to be spotted. The one Mo taking a hit there. As RTK pulls back. Why is there No Party Without Me going through? We have player near the train tracks. But it's a bit of a stalemate game. They don't know where the Foshes are. Which is probably a good thing. But we see Raid now making a move. And Raid I think is pushing. We have the Mets pushing up on the middle. And that is a good thing. Blaster trying to cap. Sick losing a tiny bit of HP. Base A is capped. Wise taking a hit there. Taking another hit. He is not in a secure position there at all. Wise losing more and more HP. RTK now pushing in aggressively. But they're not pushing coherently. They're losing a lot of HP doing this. Zerg just lost a ton and a half. And he's not going to survive this. We have the Spaghetti that is almost dead. But Zerg is almost dead also. They both go at the same time. And we've entered the roll stage. Massive hit into Blaster. There goes Blaster. Raid having lost 2 games. It's all about the focus fire here. But RTK has lost so much HP already. And those Foshes, as amazing as they are, in this case their reload, their clip reload is a weakness. And now Raid has lost 4 guns. RTK has 5 of them. But they will need to play this smartly. They have to keep their wounded alive. The Foshes moving in, almost reloaded. Big hit into Anti. There goes Anti. And this game will be for RTK. And it's all, like I said, it's all about the focus fire. And in this case, RTK's focus fire was the strongest of the 2. There we go. Game a lot more slow paced because they were both waiting for the other team to make the push that they expected. And then Raid pushed just as RTK did as well. And it kind of halted them. And then RTK just went for it. So now it is 2-2. We are moving on to our third map. And that is Oasis Palms. Oasis Palms looks like this. You have base A, which is considered a heavy base. Base B in the middle of the city. Base C in the middle of the desert. Positioning around base C is much nicer than around A and B, but it is a lot harder to dominate 2 bases from base C position. In this case, I'm not quite sure what we're going to see, but it's definitely going to be fun to watch. So let's take away that map so that it won't be stuck on your screen. And let's have a look, see. Both teams are readying up. And we see that Messi is in his grill. That can always spell trouble. I'm not sure if he has the Troublemaker. He probably has the Raid camouflage, I'd say. But Troublemaker would be fitting. And we have Raid ready up in 2 215Bs, an STB, a T22 medium, E50M, a grill and a Foch. And they're going to go up against an STB, a T22, 2 215Bs, a Batchat, a Foch, and a 121. Again, 121, not a tank that we have seen much of. Not in previous tournaments and not in current tournaments. Katsu again the one driving it. And in half a minute we get to see the next match. Again, it is best of 7. Whoever wins this match has an advantage because they only have to win one more in order to go through. Whereas the other one will have to win both next matches in order to make it happen. And again, both teams need that point. So let's see where they go and what they do in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Avatars keep staying the same. That is at least consistent. And it is of course a grill raider that Messi is in. And I wonder, they could potentially push him up there, but it might take some time. I'm not sure if they have the tanks for that. At the same time, we've seen pretty much no pushes to weird positions and no tanks in weird positions. We've seen one time a grill being pushed somewhere, but he wasn't really effective there. We have Messi going into the corner, we have the Force going into the bush, we have the 2 and 5 Bs focusing on base A, and we have some of Raid spread out on base C. As opposed to one Wiser that is in the bat chat, and everyone else from R2K being in the desert part of the map. We see Messi immediately repositioning himself, going to, I think, the rock with the bush. Not bush actually, but just the rock. No, he's holding on a different position. Drizzle losing a little bit of HP. Now R2K has to be careful not to overextend. They are firing into the blind spot where Messi used to be. But he's no longer there. Playmaker losing a little bit of HP now. And we have Raid pushing into a position where they can hold Asax losing HP there. Steel blind shots being taken where the grill is not. Katsu losing some damage. They keep shooting the blind spots, but there's no one there. Messi has long since moved. We have the bat chat going after the T-22. Ooh, Messi was spotted and deleted. Oh my god. Why is he in trouble? Running away. Not wanting to be caught. Playmaker, R2K pushing in now. Going after a juicy STB. And he is almost gone instantly. But they have to be careful, those big guns are there for a reason. There goes the STB. Asax Playmaker in trouble. Asax very low on HP. He's not going to survive much longer. Force taking a big hit. Asax is gone. R2K still has all 7 guns. Even though HP wise they're not doing all too good, but they definitely have the advantage now. 7 versus 3. Even though Wise is not going to make this, it's still 6 versus 3, and that will make it very difficult. The Force there, taking hits now, reloading. The Mo having... Ooh, there goes Raid. There goes Blaster, sorry. All the names start with Raid. We have the one Mo pushing on the Force, having the HP to take the hit without any problems. And now it's just a T-22, a Force on fire, a Force deleted, and only Anti is left. And there are some low HP targets on R2K's side for sure, but it's no party without me that is moving in, together with the one Mo and Zerd in the STB, and it's the Forced Wunderkind that finishes it off, and the match is for R2K. Again, aggressive gameplay by R2K, but it does work. Very nice, again, relatively quick game. But now the score is 2-3. But the pressure is on Raid. Raid has to win the next 2 matches to get the point. R2K has the liberty of winning one of those 2 matches to get the points. For R2K, it is all important that they get this point, because otherwise their chances of being in the top 4 are officially over. Or, no, I think I can say that they're officially over. And in just over a minute we go to the second match on Oasis Palms, the 6th match of this best of 7. And we have RTK that has rated up in 2 215Bs, a T22 medium, an IS4, a Batchat, a Foch, and a 121 again. And we have Raid rating up in 3 215Bs, an STB, a T22, 2 T22 mediums even, and a Foch. There's a lot riding on this match, and I can't wait to see what they do and what happens with this. I also see someone commenting on the American heavies now having new consumables. Not all of them, just the E5. And I believe some of the Chinese tanks as well, but I'm not entirely sure which one. So in 20 seconds we get to see this 6th match, and I just, things are a little bit too intense here, don't you think? But I do love it. Like I said, as a streamer, I love tiebreakers. As a team member, I can just only assume that people don't like it. And here we go. The pressure is on. On both teams really, because even though RTK does have the little less pressure of having to win 1 in 2 games, they still have to win it, and it is Raid that you're up against. So let's see what they do. We have a Raid moving entirely differently now. The T22s are going to the towards base A, whereas we have the STB there to spot RTK, but RTK is holding near their spawn. We have the Batchat at the back using a nice little rock. Mo with the most armor, moving in carefully. He has been spotted, he also spots. First shots being fired, no damage being done on either side. But they can't exactly cap a base now, but those T22s are ready to take on any Batchat that might venture near them. The Foch waiting at the back for a nice little shot. RTK pulling back together in the spawn. So let's have a look, see what happens here. The T22 is moving, one of them is moving back, Anti now going as well. And RTK is rotating as well. We have the Mets now heading towards base A, I think. Mo still holding them off. Player moving to spot. Mo keeps them occupied, but he's the only one spotted right now. Blind shots going where a camper would be. And though he is there, he did not get damaged. We have the Mets pushing, but they will have to be careful. Those T22s are waiting. And Anti got spotted, but Wiser did not. So he decides to not be there and goes to cap base A instead. Anti taking a bit of damage there. And with the rest of RTK, aside from Mo, now Playmaker has been spotted. Now they know that the team is divided. But RTK will cap a base. And that will give them a point advantage. The question is, how much is it for? And is it worth it? We see a little bit of damage happening into Zerd from the Foch. Drizzle also taking a little shot. The Batchat keeps watching. The 1-1 and the T22 are still there. A little bit of crossfire happening into Asex there. Batchat has now been spotted, so he has to be careful, especially with a Foch, but that is luckily reloading, which is lucky for Wiser. Wonderkind repositioning. Base C now being taken. But with Sick having almost reloaded, that can be a tricky thing. You immediately see a blind shot happening. But they will have the base. They shoot Asex. And they pull back before the Foch can catch them. But now we have a Batchat that might be meeting 2 T22s and an FV, but they're expecting that, so the moment he gets spotted, Wise is out of there. Base A will get capped. And now the trick is to not let base B be capped. But we have Blaster moving in to do just that together with Anti. This is a move that RTK should have anticipated. Playmaker losing quite a bit of HP. The one Mo losing HP crossing over. And they have to be careful not to lose too much HP. We see big hits happening all around. Zerd losing quite a bit of HP. And the Force has moved. They know this. But R2K steadily bleeding HP. And Raid now has 2 bases. And they took back that advantage. And R2K, though it was a good move, is now just losing too much. Playmaker down to 521 HP. Kasu pretty much alone. And in a position where he can't shoot Asex. Mo taking a hit. Basically, RTK now pinned down in certain positions. And that is very masterful play by Raid. And there goes Playmaker. The first one to go. And Raid has the base advantage, the poison advantage, and a definite HP advantage. We see Drizzle taking hits. Wise are getting some shots in. There goes Zerd, and R2K has lost 2 guns now. And it is very certain that this game will be for R2K. No party without me now moving in. And actually managing to get there without losing too much HP. We have... Oof. Player losing a lot of HP there. But he's still alive. No party without me losing HP. We have Raid moving in. Wiser almost deleted. Asex still alive. Player still alive. There goes Wiser. There goes Player. There goes Kasu. There goes Asex. Tanks are dropping left and right, but the game is definitely for Raid, especially when they take out No Party Without Me and hit 1k points. So now we are going to the tiebreaker match. Like I said, that is awesome. So let's have a quick look-see. This was relatively close, but I think it's the very patient gameplay that worked definitely for Raid in this case. I'm going to ready up so that we can't miss this next match. We are going to Port Bay. Port Bay is this map. You have 3 bases, 1 in the harbor, 1 in the square, 1 in the hills. For me, I personally love the positioning around base C, but we've seen some very epic action around A and B as well. And it will be all depending on this, because Raid can secure their place in the top 4 with this, and RTK can have a chance at the top 4 if they win this next match. So it's basically pressure on both teams here to make it work. I'll take it away the map so that it's not on your screen anymore. And let's see. Raid completely ready up steadily now with 2 215Bs, a T22 medium, 2 Leos and 2 Foshes. Leo, of course, very lightly armored, but laser accuracy. So that is definitely a interesting choice of tank. We have seen Raid use them before. And they are going to go up against a Mouse, 2 215Bs, a T22 medium, an IS-4, a Batchat and a Fosh. So this, like I said, the pressure is definitely on. Both teams have a lot to gain with getting this point. And pressure makes diamonds. So in 19 seconds we get to see the last match of this best of 7. Regardless of what happens, this is the last match of this matchup. And 5 seconds to go. Here we go. Like I said, as streamer, I'm loving this. I'm curious to see how the Leos will perform. We have seen them before. All these players are pro. They know how to drive these tanks. But like with the E5s, I always feel that the Leo as a choice is a bit of a risk. Especially with the current meta that we have. But I'm very curious to see what will happen here. And let's see what the tiebreaker brings. I'm going to go up and away straight away. And we see that Raid is focusing entirely on the seaside, with the 2 and 5 Bs hovering near the middle, probably to overlook base B, taking side scraping position so they have shots into it if they need it. Especially Drizzle is located perfectly for that. And with Wiser heading into it, I think he's gonna, yeah, he's been spotted. And he gets, oh, ow! Ooh, they will not have like that. But Messi pays for it dearly as well. Blind shots into Sick as well. But, ooh, that was painful. Poor Wiser. Wiser immediately went nearly a horse circle. And he's likely going to try his luck at base A instead. The Leo's in the corner, but there's no one there to shoot. But if they saw the tree fall, that could be different now. Wunderkind rotating. Wiser licking his wounds in the corner. Leo ASAC's going back, but JP is staying where he is. Mo moving over, spotting JP. Zerd overlooking base B now. No one's going A, no one's capping any. Oh, actually, no. Raid has capped a base a long time ago, and they are having the point advantage. It's steadily growing, and RTK will have to be worried about that. We have the Leo now rotating around. Maybe going into A, but mostly, I think, lurking behind the house there to see what to do. And that means that the pressure is on RTK to make a move, and we see Zerd pushing forward a little bit. They know those two FVs will still be there. He bounces, he does not bounce the second one though. And they know he is there. The Leo though has not been spotted, but he has fired now. And I wonder if that means that they know that there's not a tank there. They should, most likely. Laser accuracy doing some damage to Zerd there. Mo moving into base A, base C. But that is a tricky part. Because it is a dangerous base to cap, and we have Raid reacting immediately with heavy firepower. Stopey set on fire, losing 1300 HP. Zerd moving in. There's too much happening. I'm going to try and show you at least what happens in the points. We have the 2 and 5 Bs moving in. A very... Oof, there goes Zerd. The first tank gone. Messi taking damage, but Gassio losing a lot of HP for it. And Messi now turning around. There goes Sick. Stopey almost gone. Blaster almost gone. There goes Gassio. There goes Blaster. There goes Stopey. And RTK has a very tough job if they want to turn this around, especially since the one Mo is pretty much alone. And we have the Leos now focusing on the Force, and the Force can't focus on both of them. The one Mo losing a ton of HP. Drizzle is gone. The one Mo is still alive, but barely. He takes out Messi though. And it is 3 very healthy tanks versus some very less healthy tanks. And we are at 740 points. Wunderkind is gone. There goes one Mo. 3 healthy tanks. No party without me losing HP. This is a Raid match. Raid is taking home the points. There goes Wise and no party without me. Last one standing. And this will make it near impossible for RTK to reach the finals. And this has pretty much cemented the Raid's place for the top 4. So very well played. The patient gameplay definitely works for Raid. I love their reaction to when base C was starting to get capped, they just responded instantly. And I think that is why they stuck sort of together in that area, because they could have responded to every base very quickly. Very well played by Raid, definitely lovely games. So with that tiebreaker, Let's see if we have a scoreboard. Let's see what happened for the rest. Let's see what EG did. They are still up against Loka, so that's also probably going to be a tiebreaker. Well, wait, we know now. Come on, go back. Let's see what Karna is doing. Karna lost to Win. That means that Win now has their first points. And Karna also needs to win the next 2 matches to secure a place in the top 4. The Raid now has 4 points together with Loka. They're pretty safe. EG could potentially also get their 4th point. Let's see what FBI is doing. FBI won from Navin. So Navin and Win and R2K have a very, very tough job, but a tiny minuscule chance. But it's pretty much gonna be, well, basically place 4 is up for grabs. But the chances that the top 3 are going to change is not that likely. Especially now if EG wins from Loka, then it is definitely 3 clans with 4 points. And then FBI is next in line. But who is FBI? They are still up against Loka and up against EG. So that is definitely not going to be easy competition. So that is definitely going to be interesting games. And like I said, tonight we are following R2K. So the next match that we have, R2K versus Win, is going to be telling as well. So basically we have about 20 minutes between this matchup and the next. I'm going to open a free container to get some poopsters. Thing is that a lot of people complain about getting free stuff because it's not the free stuff that they want. But it's still free stuff, so you should just like it. That's also why I'm just having the Crate Stream play on my iPad muted. I can't actually focus on any of the games there, but I will still get free stuff. So that is definitely... I love the developments really with the top 8. It is not as expected. If you had asked me beforehand who would be the top 4, I would have easily told you Raid, EG, Karna and R2K. And look at this. Loka, all the way to the top. EG and Raid relatively safe. They have FBI, which you haven't seen here before. Karna and R2K both having to fight for the top 4. It's awesome. I love it. I love that it's not predictable at all. Like, there are so many times where you just pretty much know who is going to end up where, and you can even predict what position exactly. And that just makes this very lovely. So let's have a look, see what replays have I got for you. I'm actually going to show you a replay in a new tank that is currently in the store, because I feel that it will be good to see what it can do. And it is by Tired and Sleepy, which is currently how I'm feeling. But it is the new sheriff in town. I have to say that I absolutely adored the video that Wargaming made with it. It was so funny. I haven't seen a promotional video for a tank that I like quite as much as that. So he wants them to go left, and then he sticks mainly right and going towards the middle. Thing is that this tank is, from what I've heard, pretty comparable to the T-32. T-32, in my opinion, no longer competitive for its tier, or hardly competitive for its tier. There are so many tanks. This is what I like, instantly switching to Premo, because you don't need to be shy to use Premo, if you know for sure that you're actually going to pendant someone then. The Sue there, taking a hit. The Goose tank wanting a piece. Thing is that a lot of people actually don't know this, and this Tired and Sleepy doesn't use that either. You can shoot through those train tracks. Because it doesn't really count. It counts as sort of soft cover. Let's describe it as that. And that's something I find really funny. Because I've used it so much to troll, and people don't understand that I can hit them through it. We have the T-49 now moving around. Taking a nice max roll there. And he does fire. And there he goes. The Sue now reloading, actually pointing up, expecting himself to die. This is something I'm never agreeing with. People doing that and sort of giving up. Again. And now we have an IS-6 coming up, but he doesn't actually push through. Which is a good thing for our little sheriff here. Max roll. IS-6 is not focusing on him at all. So he tracks him, that's actually also a good thing. We have the Pantera at the back. Juicy target. But he misses even though he does bounce. And he pulls back as he shoots, and that is the reason why he bounced there. IS-6 not really committing to it. Doing some damage. The goose tank now appearing. But also not really pushing through. Especially not with the tank there. We have the Pantera pushing in the back. This 5 versus 4. So they have to be careful. The goose tank now moving in. This is sort of one of those games where mainly it works because he's not really getting shot at. And that's definitely not a bad way to have a game, to be fair. And now it is 2 versus 4, so they have to be careful. So they have to take out this Pantera as quickly as they can. Nice little ram kill. IS-6 at the back there. And that is a very unlucky bounce. At this stage you will want to pen all your shots. There's a Pantera corpse behind you, you can't drive through it. And now the teammate that was helping you before is actually blocking you, which is not a nice thing to do. Even though it was unintentional, it is very useless. And there you go, that pens. 2 versus 3, can go every which way. So let's see what happens here. IS-6 pushing over. The gun is damaged. That is not a good thing either. He does not have that much HP left. And this... Ooh, ow, ow, ow. Very little HP left, but there are still 3 enemies. He could take out this IS-6 if he's careful. He does. He does get hit again. But he is very lucky that it doesn't do any more damage. We have the AMX pushing in now. And luckily, his teammate kills him. Then bounces a shot. And now it's only the AT that is left. And our sheriff has managed to fix himself, which definitely helps. In this case, I would not go this way. I would not risk peeking over when I've did this little HP. But I would see if I could potentially murder him from behind. He has to be very careful here. His teammate is not listening. But this is the same teammate that was pushing him and blocking him. Thing is that the AT could potentially only kill one of them. But they would have to work together. And again, this is not where I would be. Because he was in the middle before. So if he had still been there, that could have been the death of him. Oh, hun. Risk Complete just said he wants my amount of gold. That is not my main account. That's a press account. It's supposed to have that much gold. But unfortunately, it is not mine. Tired and Sleepy no longer has chance to cap a base. AT-15 has been spotted. But so has our sheriff. Ooh, that bounced though. And that bounced though. He has to be so careful here. But luckily, he might be able to pull it off. He has just over a minute. And it's actually his teammate that then steals the Rattling and kills him off. The teammate that is highly questionable. But I love that the AT-15 was polite like that. Steel Ball, 4k damage in tier 8. High caliber, of course, in the Top Gun. Very nice little game. Well played. His teammate should have not pushed him into the enemy at this amount of battles with this win rate. But okay. And we are at 49 now. Let me just have a quick look when the next matchup is. Let's see. Professionals. Wrong one. Oh, I keep wanting to scroll down here, but it's actually just tomorrow is the last match. I will have the crate stream tomorrow, and I will be extending that crate stream tomorrow so that everyone gets their prizes, just so you know. So let's see, what else have we got for you? I have no idea what this song is here. There's definitely copyright. Let's skip that. Hang on. I just hope that that will not mess stuff up. I have now a commercial that is also useless. I'm just going to go for a different playlist, which starts with a little commercial, but yeah. Let's have a look, see what else have we got for you in replays. Let's see, I got a nice little game in the Comet. Comet is a lovely, fun little tank, so let's do with that. By a guy called Beast Bro. So let's see what happens. No supremacy game, so it can go every which way. And we just have to wait. Here we go. Let's see what he does. This is a tank I've not really played it much myself. I do quite enjoy it. The few games that I've had. But I'm mainly just stuck on tier 6, I think, because this is one of those lines where I know that I have to kind of get it at some point, but I'm not really eager to. Spick moving back. Bulldog running away. And they're not able to catch him. We have a P-43er there. He's zoomed in quite a bit. I know I sniper mode, but this is a new level. And you see that the armor profile of the P-43 is actually quite nice. But you can shoot it in the face, which is less nice for whoever is driving it. I do quite like it. Of the old line, I actually like the tier 6 and tier 7 least. But I do pretty much like all of them. Spick now moving in as well. Centurion shooting behind somewhere. And the Spick finishing it off. We have the AT arriving, bouncing a shot. This tank has such a nice fast rate of fire, but so does the Comet. AT-50A was one of the first spams that I ever had, but I've not really played it much recently. So their team is pretty much sticking together. And now there's not that many tanks left, which makes this a very fast-paced game. And again, one of those matches where people win mainly because they're not being shot at much. But I like those games because it shows that you're actually using your team very effectively. And that is not the gun that you want to have aiming at you. And that definitely hurt. So they kind of have to be careful here. And he barely avoids ramming, but the IS-3 does murder his teammate. Looks to me that the enemy might have one AFK, because they're not moving. Ramming a tank that is much heavier than you is not necessarily a thing that I would advise you to do. And now we have 4 versus 2, but the Spick is very low on HP. The Carnarvon looks to be AFK. So that is not the target that you want to occupy yourself with. This is the one that you want to kill first. Because then it's just, after that, it's just a turkey shoot and you can do whatever. And there we go. A nearly full HP AFK target. That's probably gonna get rammed as well. Goes 3 damage. And here we go. 3.5k damage. That is quite a lot of damage. No, don't say GG. GG is such a condescending thing. When you have an end result like this, not talking about the ace, but more this, so much teammates are surviving, such a slaughter on the other side, you can't say GG. That is just very condescending then. So yeah, that is basically what we're going to... we now just have to wait for the room, which will be up in about 5 minutes. So I can't show you another replay. I can show you another container with some more poopsters. I do call them poopsters, but I do actually appreciate them somewhat. Because they are just... They do definitely help. And that is something that I think a lot of people overlook that fact. Because it is a good thing that you can get free stuff, and it's a good thing that that free stuff can actually help you long in the game. So yeah. So like I said, now we just have to wait a little bit. And then we get the room invite. I'm still a bit flabbergasted about what happened, to be fair. Because... I always follow, well not always, I followed most R2K for most of my tournament streaming live basically. And I've always done that with a reason, because I've always very much admired the way that they played. They had this kind of flow into their game. They had this kind of elegance, and the focus fire was just dead on. And this season they've just not been able to find their groove basically. You have this stupid movie called Stella Finds Her Groove. This kind of feels like that. And I think that's sad, not in the pathetic kind of way, but just sad, because I think they also expected more. I know that before the season there was a big question as to whether or not they would even try this. But they did try, and then they didn't get there, because it is just, at this stage, I think I can say that R2K will not make the top 4. And that is a little bit shocking. Because like I said, I followed them with reason. They've always had a very high level of gameplay. Back when the first time came that I started following R2K, they were the main contender next to Legion. Legion took it home. Deservedly so. But they were like the opposite side of it. And after that, they only just got better and better. And just this season, it's just not there. So I wonder what's going to happen now. I do still very much hope that they will be back in spring season later on. And to just have that flow again. I think one of the reasons is that because they decided so late that they were going to do this, that they didn't have the training, the very harsh, high-paced training that R2K used to have in between tournaments and weeks before tournaments. So that the team that we saw fight, they even changed members between the qualifiers and the professionals. And all of that, I think, just didn't work for the team. It didn't allow the team time enough to cement together. And that is one of Raid's strongest points. They are players that, even though they also have new players now, they are very strong together, and they have known each other for a long time. They all German speaking, so that's also something, but they have played together like so consistently for such a long time that getting 1 or 2 new players in then isn't that big of a deal, and they will have trained with them as well. So in order to have any chance, R2K will have to win today versus Win, and tomorrow versus Karna. And Karna has sort of similar pressure tomorrow. So that's definitely going to be a matchup to watch. But yeah, I think that is one reason why R2K is at a disadvantage here. And like I said, I really hope that they will be back in spring season in their old shape and form. Because that elegance is what I've always really liked about them. They just had that flow. There was a time where you could just count the seconds, and at some point you could see the movement starting, and just like a wave, RTK would push, and it would be exactly at the right time, exactly at the right spot, and it worked. And that is just something that I love, and it's something that right now it is very hard to find it in any team. So yeah, I'm reminiscing a little bit here. I have seen matches where Karna is currently having that flow. And if beforehand I would have had the top 4, like I said, Karna and RTK would both definitely be in it. They're kind of both my favorite, also because Karna is made up of a lot of ex-RTK members. So even though I may not personally know them all, I do know them quite a bit because I've seen them play a lot before. And yeah, I don't quite know what to say, to be fair. But so let's just focus on the next matchup. We have RTK versus Win. And a lot depending for both. Win, though they don't, well, both have 1 point. So technically speaking, they could do it. So they both have a lot riding on this. And we are going to Middelburg. So let me pull up that map for you. Let's see. Middelburg looks like this. You have 3 bases, 2 in the city, base A and B, and base C in the hills. Overall, we do see some heavies in the city, but the positions around the hill are a lot better than in the city. So I'm kind of always curious to see what will happen and where they go with it. We have RTK already completely ready with a mouse, 2 140s, a T22 medium, 2 215Bs, and a Foch. So that will also be a fun lineup to see. With the mouse, I would expect them to stay downtown, but that is not always what they do. Like I've said before, teams can go anywhere. And on the other side, we have Win now completely ready in an E5, a Batchat, 2 215Bs, 2 STBs, and a T22 medium. And now we just wait. We have little less than, well, we have just over a minute and a half before we go. I'm actually going to take a bit of drink now, because all this talking is not good for your throat. And now both teams are completely ready up. And we see 3 215Bs now. At the moment, that is one of the most versatile tanks that we have, the 215B, especially with the speed boost. You can make it go anywhere, especially in the beginning of the battle. And we are 1 minute from entering this best of 7. And like I said, the pressure is definitely on for both these teams, because there is a lot of riding on this. At the moment, the top 4 is not set. Stuff can happen. So let's have a look in 40 seconds for this first match of this 6th round of the round robin. Tomorrow we have the 7th one, and that will be all telling about who's going to make it. I keep reading Trumpy from North. I know that is not what it says, but it reminds me of that. I don't think anyone would want to name themselves like that, but yeah. I'm not sure what Trumpy means, but basically Win is all from North. They're from Finland. Beautiful country. I've been there once, but I saw a lot of the countryside and it was just absolutely lovely. So here we go. Let's have a look-see. And let's see what happens here. I like that. That is how you start a battle. Win always having been very friendly that way. No. Like I said, I like that. They're great people. And we see that Win is definitely going to get base C, and we have some of RTK holding in their spawn, where we have Gassio going into base A, protected by the one Mo and Zerd at the back. Base C is being capped. Base B is probably going to get capped as well, because that is what Camper from North is doing. He's not camping or roasting any marshmallows. He's likely going to spot Zerd now. And RTK is holding together. Wiser has been spotted. Camper from North making a full circle. Or not, no, he's actually holding at the back. And we see some of Win moving back, expecting opposition in the town. Wiser and Gabe spotting each other. They kind of want Win to make that move, and Win is just like, nah, not doing it. And we have Win that is now capping their second base, and that will definitely give them an advantage. RTK is pushing. Only Zerd at the back with the mouse is the slowest. They can't really set the trap like they did last time. They know that RTK is pushing now. With the Batchat and the FV in the middle. Getting away with it. RTK losing some HP here. Wunderkind going after Gabe. Ooh, big hit into Gabe. Gabe is not looking too healthy. Playmaker somehow surviving still. No party without me almost gone. Playmaker tracked. There goes Gabe. We have the one Mo not looking too healthy. Trying to show you all. There goes the one Mo. There goes Rambo. Sylvester Stallone did not save him. Then we have Kuma moving in. There goes Playmaker. Both teams have lost 2 guns. But now RTK has lost a third one. There they go both. Basically it's going up quite evenly. And it will be all about the focus fire. Killer from North using the consumable where he loses less HP with the shots. But he's not going to survive that Fosh. Base C now being capped. Ollie losing a lot of HP there. Zerd in the mouse chasing an STB. Wunderkind reloading. Ollie now gone. And now only... oof. That poor STB. Zerd reloading. But it is Wunderkind that's going to take out the STB. And now we have only Camper left. Object 140 versus Batchat. Batchat is not going to survive this even though he has 1 shot left. And Wiser kills him off. And this is quite the graveyard. So that is the first match up and over. I love how Win just was like, yeah, that might be a trap. It's a trap. And let's not go into that. Because we have seen RTK do that thing before where they were just in the spawn waiting for it. And we have RTK now completely readied up with 2 mice, a T22 medium, 3 215Bs and a 140. And they're going to go up against 3 215Bs, a Batchat, 2 Foshes and a T22 medium. So that is definitely going to be fun to see with those Foshes and those mice. RTK not taking a Fosh at all. And Win taking 2. Now, someone just asked, who do you want to win? I'm not sure if you mean the championship or this matchup. I honestly can't say at this point, to be fair. I mean, I have my favorites but they have been my favorites for multiple reasons. And not just because of their gameplay, but also because of the people. And for me, that's always been RTK, and in this case also Ocarina. They're my 2 favorites, but I like all the teams. Like I said, Win is one of the nicest teams here, and they've performed exceptionally well. We've seen them beat clans where you're like, they can be beat. And Win has done that, so that goes to show a lot as well. So in 12 seconds we get to go to the second match of this best of 7. Shit! I am so sorry, and I'm so sorry for cursing. Oh, poop. I didn't. I'm so sorry. This is what happens. Sorry. It's gone for the second battle, I promise. Oh god, I'm so sorry, guys. This is what happens when I'm reminiscing and I get sad and I'm tired. That is just like complete noob of me. You'll even miss all the friendly battle chatter that was happening. Oh my god, I feel so bad now. Yeah, I've just sat that, Caden. I'm sorry. So yeah, now we have R2K getting base B. And pushing at the back towards the other side. Blind shot being happening. Ollie has been spotted. Base A is not being capped, but base C has been capped. Both teams are pretty much even in points. Oh god, I can't believe I noobed with the map. I'm so sorry, guys. Ollie taking some damage there. Gassio taking a lot of damage. But then it's a Fosh. Yeah, there's a 5-minute delay, guys. I can't remove it in time now, because it's happened 5 minutes ago. Stopey holding at the back. Wanted to make sure they don't get creeped up on. But that might be what Laze and Camper were doing. I know, guys. I know. I'm so sorry. They're talking about the map. And now both teams are just holding. Pretty much going up at the same time point-wise. So it is a bit of a stalemate. Only Gassio and Ollie have really lost health. Luckily Mop People is now moving in. But because of the delay I can't fix it. I'm so sorry. I'm just happy I removed it for the second match because I generally don't look at the thing before we... Yeah. Blind shot happening into the bush. Oh well. Zerd pulling back a little bit. Side scraping old buildings, looking at the hill. Lace getting shot at. Zerd taking some damage there from the Batchat. And overall, it's sort of like RTK is sort of pushed in a corner. And Win is going across the battlefield, getting some shots in. We have Camper and Killer now seeming to exchange positions. Zerd taking a bit more damage. They know that Lace is there. Especially now that he's been spotted. But he's in a good spot. He can't really get shot from there. Ollie spotted. Gassio spotted. Gassio having to be careful. Pushing in a little bit. But they know that the forces are likely there. Camper from north rotating around. Lace just trolling. Zerd having a look-see. Gets spotted. And he must be careful not to get Fosh there, even though they don't know exactly where the Fosh is. He does fire blind shot into where he thinks they might be. But like I said, it's a bit of a stalemate. Not all that much happening, aside from Mets running around. We are already at near 800 points. I'm not sure if it can get a tie here. When you get to 1k points, because it might do something at HP. So then it's all the more important that R2K preserve their HP. They have about 1k advantage. So now we have Camper that has been spotted. Why is he moving in? But they have to be careful. We are at 800 points. And we might be seeing a push now so that they can cap the base. Gassio losing a lot of HP. But Wise is using him as cover to cap that base. And we have Gassio steadily being destroyed. Zerd taking a lot of damage. And they've not managed to cap the base. And now it's everyone's game. There goes Gassio. That gives Win a definite advantage. Wise losing a ton of HP. The Fosh moving in. Wanting to kill off Wise. And they're likely going to... Ooh, they're not even going to do it. But there he goes. And we are at 1k points. And suddenly it's the end of the game. And Win took the victory. And now it is 1-1, actually. So yeah, we all have our noob moments. Definitely noob moment for me was the map. Again, I'm really, really sorry. We are moving to a different map now. I'm going to show you that and then I'll take the map actually away. Because that is generally what you're supposed to do. We're going to go to Black Golf. We have 3 bases. Base A, B and C. Base A considered the map base, B in the middle and C considered the heavy base. We see most of the action here around base A. And that is because the positioning around there is actually better overall for the map. I feel that it's easier to move from there to other places. So let's take that actually away this time. Oh my god. This is something that I can just keep hitting myself in the head for like repeatedly for days on end. So yeah, I'm just glad that you're pretty accepting of this, and I'm very glad that did not happen on a crate stream, because then it would have been hell to pay, really. And we have, with 46 seconds left to go, we have RTK that has readied up in a 215B, 340s, a T22 medium and 2 Foshes. And we have Win ready with 2 215Bs, an STB, 2 Foshes, an Object 140 and a T22 medium. And yes, Mahmoud, I know I swore. But that kind of goes to show how I felt. 22 seconds left before we go on to the third match of this best of 7. Like I said, I'm just glad it didn't happen on the crate screen. And I'm glad that you're not cursing me to death for it. And I'm just glad that it happened with 2 very friendly teams. But here we go, 5 seconds. We are about to go into the match. And let's just focus on that. I just keep checking OBS now to make sure that I don't have a map there. That's actually so sweet, the chats. There's the corpse of my T22 of my press account. And here we go. And we have Win focusing primarily on the base A side, and we have RTK doing the exact same thing. Kemper going towards the middle, probably to get some spots and to potentially go and get base B once they know where RTK is. We have Lace spotting some people already. No party without me, potentially going to troll cap. Killer taking immediately some damage. And he is pulling back to safety with Kuma from north. The STB indeed capping base B. Lace taking a big hit. Kasu taking a big hit back. And base A being capped. With RTK steadily pushing in. Pushing through even, not attempting to cap that base aside from the T22. Big hit going into Kuma. RTK pushing through the caves. And Kuma getting massively hit. And as he pulls back, trying to save himself, he actually gets murdered. Wise taking a nice little bounce there. Rambo being slaughtered as well. Wise and Zerd losing quite a bit of HP. Zerd being very forwards, going after the 140 together with the T22 medium. And we see that that is the one next in line. RTK splitting up a little bit, but they are definitely ganging up on people. Wise almost gone. The Foshes making a move, helping their team. Kasu taking a big hit. There goes Gabe, there goes Wise. And now we have an STB and we have Ollie. Camper running away. Wanting to help, but also not able to anymore. Tanks are disappearing, but now only Camper is left in the STB. And there he goes. And that is a very quick match, less than 2 minutes. And look at the difference in damage. That is nearly twice the damage. And it was just like steadily building up, and RTK was like, yeah, let's not just cap base A, let's just drive straight on through. And it really worked in this case, because Win, as nicely positioned as they were not in a position to back each other up fast enough. So now it's 2-1 for RTK. And we are going to the second match on Black Goldville. And we have RTK readied up in an STB, a 215B, a T22 medium, 2 140s and 2 Foshes. And they're going to go up against two 215Bs, an STB, 2 Foshes, a 140 and a T22 medium. Very similar lineups, I quite like that. Just a little bit more heavy armor on Win side and a little bit more speed on RTK side. We have just over a minute left to go, both teams are just completely ready. And now we just have to wait before the battle actually begins. That's kind of like, I keep saying this, I would so like if both teams just had a battle button where you could just click I am ready when you're like totally ready, and then you can just both go if both teams are completely ready. Because that would actually make the matchups go a lot faster, I think. And 25 seconds left to go. I am ready. I hope you guys are too. I'm a bit deflated still. I can't really help that. It's also pretty warm here, which doesn't help me either. But yeah. Let's see. We have 12 seconds left. Then we get to go into the fourth match. Like I said, I keep checking OBS now to make sure that there's no map there. And with 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I actually quite like Black Gold, especially when we first got it. It was like such a novelty, and you had the whole treasure hunt thing. Almost everyone is pro here, by the way, except for Gabe. Gabe is just an empty icon. But yeah. I quite like the unity in avatars, really. Now Win focusing on the C side. And we have RTK going all towards space A again. And that could mean that Win will have a definite point advantage, because especially if the STB does not spot anyone again and he goes to get base B, but now he's going to get spotted by Zerd. They're going to spot each other. Zerd actually does not get spotted, but he does spot. Base A being kept. Base C now being kept. Camper going in after all. And that will give Win a cheeky edge if he manages to get away with it. He's already positioning himself to get the heck out of there as soon as he caps, or as soon as he can. Killer taking some damage there. But Camper manages to get the base. And then he's out of there. In the meantime, we have the 140s that are facing off against the Fosh that is safely hidden in the corner. And they will take a big hit if they want to push him. Some fire going on into the corner. Rambo turning around, hightailing it out of there. Pretty much unspotted. Killer taking a little bit of damage again. Rambo waiting. He has to be careful because the objects will think that he's there, and he could potentially do a lot of damage, especially now that he's reloaded his clip. Both of them are spotted. Ooh, massive hit into Wise there. Base B is being stolen. Gassio capping the base and going after Camper. Lace taking hit. Now we have Gassio being steadily murdered. And we have No Party Without Me wanting to kill off Camper, which he does, but he does lose quite a bit of HP for it. Base B still being capped. We have people losing HP all around. There goes Killer, there goes Gassio. And we have RTK pushing the middle. Lace losing a lot of HP as No Party Without Me also arrives there. The Force now arriving though, and that could be the end of There You Goes, No Party Without Me. We have a chase going around the silo here, which I think is quite funny to see. We have Kuma going to hit. Oof. No, he's not taking the shot yet. But Playmaker is ripe for the picking. Zerd just got lost. It is 4 versus 4. A Playmaker did just take a massive hit. Kasu is still reloading. Wunderkind is going on the drum reload now. Kasu not sure what he did there. There goes Playmaker. It is 3 versus 3. It can go every which way. But now Wunderkind is almost reloaded. There he goes. It is 2 versus 2, but HP wise it is very, very close. But Win has the 2 bases. And that is the tricky part here. Oof, Kasu's taking a big hit there. But he's going into the base. They kind of have to because there are 900 points. And he only has 1 shell left. And that's the thing. Now he's on a clip reload. But I'm not sure that that will be the right call. And with base C still being theirs, it is highly unlikely that RTK will bring this home. Especially since Rambo is coming. Kasu in the line of fire from Rambo. We have Kuma hiding safely. Because they only need to survive at this stage. They can't do anything. At this stage, Win has the game. We are at 1k points. There we go. Left it too late. No more damage being done. They all 4 survive. But because of those cheeky caps and the fact that they kept base C in this race, Win took home the victory. So it is 2 versus 2. We are moving on to a new map. We are going to Canal. Canal, one of my favorite maps. 4 bases, C and B closest to their respective spawns. A, the sort of heavy side, but mostly the camper side. And base D, the mad side. I kind of prefer the D side because I always feel that it's easier to dominate the battle from there than from the other side. Let's take away the map this time and see what the teams do. I just keep checking OBS now. Ugh. And we have Win almost ready. RTK readying up. The one mode taking a BT2. I have a feeling that he's not going to stick with that. But they have just over a minute left to go. And we have Win now ready with 2 215Bs, 2 140s, a 4005, a Foch and a T22 medium. And we have RTK that is now ready with a 215B, a T22 medium, 2 Batchets, an E50M and 2 Foches. And that is a pretty mobile lineup again. So I wonder what they will do with it. We've seen a lot of pushes today from RTK, but it does work for them. So in 22 seconds we get to see the 5th match of this best of 7. And after this the pressure will be on one of the teams. Because again, for both teams it is now absolutely vital that they take the points. And it can go every which way. Because you see the score steadily going up both ways. Which again, as streamer is quite fun, but for the teams not so much. And here we go. The only noob thing I haven't done yet is forget to ready up for a battle. So let's hope that I just keep remembering to ready up, because that would just like be icing on the cake here. And here we go. Let's see what they do with this lineup. And we see speed boosters being activated all over the place. We have, aside from Weise, everyone is going towards base A. Blind fire being taken already. And there were tanks there, but it did no damage. Zerd going quite aggressively, actually going down. Blind shots happening and camper spots. Base D being capped, base B being capped. Big hit into Gabe. Base A is going to get capped now. Zerd is going to overlook base B, so they can't get that. But they will have the point advantage because they capped base B earlier. Base D earlier, sorry. Stopey damaging himself just a tiny little bit. Big hits going into Rambo as he gets spotted. But then it is a very, very juicy tank. Gabe pulling back. And we have Stopey just going in aggressively to cap the base. Protected by Zerd as he is. And that is a very tricky move if they manage to do that. I mean, at this stage, Win could actually take their base spawn in turn. Ollie taking some damage. Stopey has been spotted, immediately gets out of there. And now base C is being capped. And Win has lost quite a bit of HP. But they do have the point advantage. And they will definitely have the base advantage now. Zerd having activated his super special consumable. Stopey having been spotted. He does get shot. Killer from North takes a hit for it. But capping base B is not an option. And that means that Win has the advantage here. HP wise is not even that far apart. But the tanks just look less healthy. We have the Batchas heading on the other side. There's the T-22 medium at the back there. Protecting everything. Win nicely positioned everywhere. Killer repositioning himself. RTK pushing back up over into their spawn. The one Mo having been spotted doing so. The T-22 now in potential problem. Big hit going into Lays there. And he quickly takes cover with the building. As his team starts to take positions around him. They actually think, I think they are hoping that RTK will make the push into the line of fire of their Foch. But RTK will have to make a move at some point. Kazu has been spotted. If he moves too much, he's definitely going to get shot to hell. Zerd now taking heavy damage. Almost gone. Kuma taking massive damage. And Killer also. HP is disappearing everywhere. But now Zerd is gone. So RTK is missing a gun. Gabe is almost gone. But as Stobie peeks out too much, he is gone as well. Finished off. And now they have taken base C. That is a massive hit into Kuma. And Kuma shoots back. Kuma coming back around. And no party without me might have to take the shot. It's actually the one Mo that takes it. Quite aggressive, dangerous gameplay here. But now he's on the drum reload. And Kuma's finished off. Base B is being capped. So now both bases have two. Gabe not been spotted there. But Ollie does, and he gets shot. Base D now also being for RTK, and now only base B is for Win. RTK having less guns, but definitely more HP, pretty much the double of it. Wunderkind taking out Ollie. Now gun-wise they are the same, but HP-wise RTK is a massive advantage. And we have Gabe that has been spotted now, getting no party without me to visit him. And that is the end of Gabe. And now base A is being kept, but RTK has the point advantage now. They have the gun advantage. And we have Wunderkind just steadily capping. Wise gets taken out, but we have a Foch arriving there. That is going to kill off Killer. Wunderkind has been spotted. He is still capping the base. He does not manage to. But as long as he's in there, they won't get any points for it. No party without me going after the other T-22. They really just need to survive at this stage. But they don't seem to quite do that. No party without me moving in, wanting to take out that other T-22. But they're basically exchanging, and it's no party without me having more HP. That has now killed off Lays. Camper from North now taken out, and we are at 1k points, and the match is for R2K. And like I said, that now puts the pressure on Win. Because Win now has to win the next 2 matches to get the point, and R2K just has to win 1 match to get the point. So basically a lot of it is riding on this, because with all the points that as they have been divided over the top 8, it is so randomly everywhere really. And that just makes it so that anything can happen. And even if these teams manage to get the top 4, regardless actually of which teams get the top 4, they will have to get their act together. Because aside actually from Logan thus far, although I don't know the end of the score for the first matchup tonight, I will check that after. Logan's the only one that has consistently won all their matches so far. So I am very curious to see what happened the 5th round for them. And even more curious what happened the 6th one. Because also if a team consistently wins, that also interferes with the scores of the other teams that that are trying to get to the top 4. So it has influence on the whole top 8. So with 40 seconds left to go before we go into the 6th match of this best of 7, with the pressure now on Win. Win has taken an E5, a Batchat, a 215B, a Foch, a 140 and 2 113s. And they're going to go up against a 215B, 2 Leos, an IS4, a Batchat and 2 Foches. So that is definitely something. Again, Leos, interesting choice, but they can really work, especially on maps like this. Laser accuracy, but no armor whatsoever. So, but basically now Win only has 1 Foch to murder a Leo. But technically you could do it with a clip, if the aim is right. If there's a juicy bot in sight. And now we go into the match. And we just have to wait to see what they do. Not sure where my corpse is. It's not in sight. But here we go. We have R2K pushing more towards the base B. And we have now Win going for an aggressive move. Just like R2K did last match. Stopey already having been spotted in the IS4. And Stopey is going straight on in. Kasu taking massive damage. Crossing over. And we have Stopey now in trouble. Focused on by 3 tanks. Wise arriving with the Batchat. Zerd arriving. But this is going into a brawl very, very quickly. And R2K is bleeding HP. And Stopey almost gone now. And there he goes. First gun is out of the way. We have Wunderkind at the back. That's almost gone as well. And now on the reload, Ollie should be gone. There he goes. But Zerd is not in a good position there. We have Batchat versus Batchat happening in the middle. There goes Kasu. Batchat is shooting Batchat. The one Mo is almost gone. Stopey is gone. Wunderkind is gone. Win is capping a base at this stage, but they don't really need to. HP wise though, Zerd is looking pretty healthy. Zerd was looking pretty healthy. Batchat now moving, and there goes No Party Without Me. R2K has 3 guns left. And one of them is his fairly healthy Zerd. There goes the one Mo. And it's definitely Win that staked this home. Very aggressive, sort of chaotic gameplay by Win. But they're getting away with it, and it's working. Wise is taking out Gabe. Then being rammed by Rambo, but killed off by Lace. Killer is gone. There's a very unhealthy Zerd now. And he's the only one left. And he's getting hugged. And he still survives that. But there he goes. And that has to be one of the quickest matches as well, because it's slightly less than 2 minutes. Very aggressive gameplay. I think that if, in this case, Stopey hadn't moved in like that, it could have gone quite differently. But they met aggressive push with aggressive push. And in this case, Win's push was better. So now we're going to go to the tiebreaker on Naval Frontier. So let me just find that map for you. It looks like this. You have 3 bases. Base A considered the map. Well, actually it's considered a heavy base, but I always go there with the mat. Base B in the middle and base C on the other side. I find base A and B, because they're closer together, they're easier to basically overlook together, to dominate together. But we've seen a lot of tournament matches where it's actually base C, that is where all the action is. And I'll take that away from you so that it's not blocking your screen. And we have Win now completely readied up with an E5, an STB, a 215B, 2 Foches, another STB, and a T22 medium. And R2K is not really readied up yet. They are still changing their tanks. And for a tiebreaker, it is definitely a fun way to end the evening, at least for a streamer. But there's so much riding on this for both teams. The pressure is definitely on. So here we go. They are almost all ready. And in 20 seconds we start to see this tiebreaker, the last match of the evening. And R2K is readied up in 3 215Bs, a Leo, a Batchat and 2 Foches. I'm seeing Tyler asking, who you think may win. I think it could literally go either way here. Because both teams have shown some really nice moves and some really nice focus fire. And here we go. Into the tiebreaker. With no map on the screen. So let's see what happens in this last match of the evening. And we have Win focusing a bit on every single side, but mostly B and C. R2K doing sort of the same thing, but they're trying to push someone up. Looks like they're trying to push up a Leo, which is not a grill. Not sure if they're gonna manage it. They must have tried it. But this does not look like it will work. And now RTK is actually taking base C. And they managed it. Oh my god. I've seen grills there, but no Leos. And with the laser accuracy and the reload, that can really work. But he has to be careful not to get spotted, really. And you don't actually see the red line here. But it is here because I can't push further, right? So he's going all the way up to use that laser accuracy to hit people from far away places. Now base C is being stolen, base A is being taken. And that definitely will put the pressure on. Base A immediately getting hit, Stobie taking some damage. But at this stage... Oh, ow, Wize! You got forced! Gabe steadily losing HP. Can't really do much about that. And he's pulling back to safety. Sort of hidden now. And we have Zur taking a massive force hit there. And Gabe getting the heck out of there. But currently the score is tied, and with Win having the one base, Win has the advantage now, and RTK will have to get it back somehow. And HP wise, it is negligible. It is pretty much the same. So let's see what happens. Wonderkind not spotted, going in, seeing another force, but they're leaving that. Stopey is being rushed, and we have a miss by Wonderkind, which is very costly at this stage. Stopey pretty much dead now. Oof, Lace taking a massive hit. But Stopey's not going to survive that. There he goes. And he's the first tank out. No Party Without Me is safely up above. Still able to take some hits. He has been spotted now though. Wunderkind takes out Lace. But RTK is basically 3 guns down because No Party Without Me is doing the damage there. But he can't really do all that much. We have Ollie taking hits. Kasu almost gone. Kasu now on the drum reload. He's not going to survive that. Wunderkind taking a hit. Rambo as well. Laser accuracy from... Oof. He got forced. The force got forced. And now it is 5 versus 3. But Win has the one base. The one Mo is taking damage. If not that much. Zerd is taking damage. The Leo has no clear shots now. There goes Zerd, double tapped. And we are at 765 points. And the match is, I'm fairly sure, for RTK. Unless they steal base C, and that's not going to happen. No Party Without Me has now moved down. They still think he's there. They're looking at that high spot, wanting to spot him. But No Party Without Me is moving towards the back. Ooh, massive hit into Killer there, with a little bit of fire. And another one. If it keeps on like that, then they might actually win. But it will be very difficult, and they would have to get base C. There goes Killer. But it is still 4 versus 2. They would have to move in quite aggressively to make it work, and they would have to move in together. And now with the Fosh coming there, the one Mo taking massive damage now. The STB moving in, the E5 moving in. Mo pretty much alone. No party without me there. And he does take out Gabe. HP wise, it is not even that far apart, but there's 3 guns for one and only 1 gun on the other team. He will have to. Ooh, that is going to be forced. Ooh, he misses. And now, no party without me is going to get forced. And he's going to get forced hard. There you go. And he does not take it home. And it will be Win that has the points. And that means that R2K is definitely not going to the finals. With a flying turret that flips on over Kuma, it is the end. And Win has the point. Oof. Very nicely done by Win. Very well played. And like I said, they get the point. They still have a tiny, tiny chance. But let's see what has happened, because their chance also depends on what others have done. Loka took it home. Raid took it home by the looks of it. EG took one of them home. They won against Karna. So now it's FBI. Let's see what they did. I think they must have lost. They lost to Loka, and they're up against EG tomorrow. So that is vital. Karna has a chance if they win from R2K tomorrow, and if FBI loses from EG tomorrow. Then the top 4 is not quite decided, but let's see what did they do against FBI. They won against FBI. So if Karna wins tomorrow and FBI loses tomorrow, then I believe that they are going to look at the direct matchup of the two. And I'll actually check that in a little bit. But that would mean that it is Karna that will go through. But that is not the way that you want to go through. You want to go in, yes, we have the points, we are definitely through. That is how you want to do it. Let's have a look. I'm just going to quickly go to the forum. Let's have a look. What WO Blitz. We want the professionals for the regulations for the professionals. And what do they say in case of a tie? Because that is what we want to know here. That is not the professionals that I want. For some reason it went to the spring series, because that is like so logical. But this is the one that we want. Let's see. What does it say? It's player conduct, tournament rules. If several teams have an equal number of points, the following parameters, I don't know, will be considered to determine the winner. Head-to-head battles and the total score of these battles. The team that won a head-to-head battle or that has more victories in the head-to-head battles advances to the next stage. So in this case, if Karna wins from R2K tomorrow, and if EG wins from FBI tomorrow, then Karna is through. If FBI wins from EG tomorrow, then FBI is through to the top 4 and Karna is out. So that is a definitely exciting thing, because I am having the Great Stream tomorrow and I'm streaming Karna versus R2K. So that is going to be a very telling battle. So that's going to be it for tonight for me. This is the total score as it is right now, even though Win's point isn't here yet. Let's see, does Win actually have a chance? Win is up against Navin. They could also potentially get 3 points if they win from Navin tomorrow. So we could, basically everything could happen. They won from Karna, so if... God, that is complicated. But they lost to FBI. Okay, so if Win wins tomorrow from Navin, and FBI loses to EG, and Karna wins from R2K, I have no idea who's going through. So let's keep it at that. That is it for me tonight. I'm very eager to see what happens tomorrow. Like I said, I have the Great Stream after the matchup, because there's only one round tomorrow. I'm going to be tuning with Rolling Swarm, and we're going to be talking about both the whole tournament series and just having some fun with it so that everyone can get their max prizes and crates. So thank you all for watching. Again, I'm very, very sorry for leaving that map on. Thank you for not biting my head off for it. And I hope to see you all tomorrow. I'm hoping that tomorrow it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. And in the meantime, between now and then, I will try to figure out what happens if Win wins, Karna wins, and FBI loses. Because if FBI wins tomorrow, then it's for certain, then FBI's through. So that is a very, very interesting... everything is dependent on tomorrow, and I quite love that. Well, everything I say, the fourth place is up for grabs tomorrow by 3 teams. And that makes it definitely interesting. I'm going to actually just end it with this Loka consistently having won every match so far in this round robin. And that is definitely commendable. Raid having only lost to Loka. I think that is. Oh no, they're up against. They lost against EG. So they're up against Loka tomorrow. So that's definitely going to be a match to remember as well. So that is definitely... Oof. I quite like this. I think it's quite exciting. But yeah. Like I said, I've always followed RTK for a reason, and I really hope they will be back in spring and back stronger. But we will see them tomorrow again versus Karna, and everything will depend on that, and on what FBI does, of course, and on what Win does. So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting day tomorrow. Again, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your patience and your forgiveness. Thank you all the teams for the lovely, lovely games. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Good night.